Well, the Super Bowl isn't just about the touchdowns, it's about the trends. And after the big game, millions of people took to Google to search for everything from halftime show highlights to must-try game day snacks and those buzzworthy commercials.
That's right. Today we're joined by a Google Trends expert, Abigail, to break down what had people searching the most during and then after the Super Bowl, and those results may surprise you. So let's dive in. Hey, Abigail.
Hey!
Hi, thank you for having me.
Certainly.
Of course.
So what did you see? What trends did Google see surging after the big game?
Well, the biggest question was biggest comeback in NFL history. Like, what is it? Obviously, folks who are interested after that halftime score, are the Chiefs going to come back? The second most trending question was, what color was the Gatorade bath? I mean, we see this every year. It's the funniest thing. Everybody wants to know because it's so much fun. And then finally, the third question, or most searched question, was, why does Philly grease pole? Now, I don't know if you're familiar with this, but what's been happening in Philly over the years is that the fans are so big, they're so strong, and they want their teams to succeed. So they would climb the poles, right? And to see how high they could go, to kind of really push the team to go higher and higher. And so the folks at Philly was like, no way, that's too dangerous. We're going to grease the poles so you can't climb up. It's super fun.
Oh, that's fun. That's a good tidbit to know.
I had no idea.
Right?
Let's talk commercials for a second. What were you seeing as some of the top searched commercials this year?
Well, we actually look at it by views. So the top viewed commercial on YouTube on our Ad Blitz hub was Booking.com. I mean, they just seem to be doing well year after year. And of course, the Muppets are so much fun. So they get a lot of views. And then the second most viewed was the Ram Trucks ad, which makes sense because it was a funny take on Goldilocks. It was very cinematic. And then the third most viewed ad, and I have to say I'm super happy, is our Google ad, Dream Job. And it was all about how this dad is using Gemini to help him with his interview questions so he can get a job after his daughter goes to college. Not a dry eye in the house.
Yes, I remember that from the game, from the commercials last night. Very touching, that one. As for the game itself, can you give us maybe some top searched players? Like, who were people looking into and searching the careers of during the game?
Right. Of course. I mean, no surprise, Patrick Mahomes, because like he could be the best QB of all time, right? Maybe this past game may have pushed him down a little bit, but still he's seen as tippity top. And then, of course, Jalen Hurts, who did excellently last night. So the QBs are definitely the most searched of the top players.
Yeah,
but there were a lot of searches for celebrities around the halftime show, you name it.
Yeah, certainly.
Oh, that's cool. Now, what about football terms? Were people Googling jargon? I know I definitely needed to.
Yeah.
Well, there are definitely searches around the flags because there were a lot of flags last night, right? So people were like, well, what is this flag thing? And then another top search was for what a blitz is. They wanted to know what that was.
Right.
So you definitely had your folks who are more novices trying to figure out what's going on in that game, which is super fun to watch.
Yeah, that's interesting because to me that says that there's a lot of first-timers or people who are not familiar necessarily with the ins and outs of football who are watching this Super Bowl this year.
Absolutely. Now, let's talk about...
especially because of Taylor Swift, right?
Of course.
Absolutely.
The most searched celeb, no surprise.
Yeah, no surprise.
That makes sense. So now let's talk about the halftime show searches. So what was kind of topping the list during and after Kendrick Lamar's performance?
Okay, well, this may surprise you, but people wanted to know how tall Kendrick Lamar was. I mean, that wouldn't have been my first question, but definitely they were interested in that. They wanted to know who was singing with him, SZA.
Yeah.
And then no surprise, people were asking for how do you pronounce SZA's name. And then if folks caught her, Serena Williams was on stage for like a blip. So another top question was that Serena Williams?
Yes.
Yeah.
I Googled that. I totally did because I was like, could that have been Serena Williams? And of course, I found out quickly that it was. So very interesting stuff.
Interesting.
Abigail, thank you for joining us.
Thank you so much.
So interesting to talk to you today. Yeah, we appreciate you. Oh man, okay, that was it. That was
I did some Googling myself.
You did.
So
I did too.
get you.
All during the game.